Hey folks, I just recently became interested in collecting some of the early model Glocks, and I found this one. This is a Gen 2 in the signature Tupperware container. Has this hole here, in case you're not familiar with this packaging. This hole is actually so that the Austrian army can stack them on a pole to lock them. This case right here, the Tupperware case, is a Gen 2 case, which is not really an official designation. It's what I call it. The cases, the generations, actually do not coincide with the pistol, as far as I know. But this one here has a little flange that sticks out. The original one did not have that, and what was happening is people were putting Glocks that were loaded and around in the chamber, sticking them in here, and they were discharging. The trigger would hit that circle thing and they would fire. So they put that little flange there to keep it, you have to actually pull the trigger on an empty chamber in order to get it in here. And this one here, here's the instruction manual, dated March 1988, which is when the Gen 2s started. And they went until the late 90s. I don't remember, it was 97 or 98, I don't remember. Came with 2 magazines and a magazine loader. It also came with a cleaning kit, but I did not get that with this one that I bought. The 17 round magazine. It's got a little edge, I don't know how well you can see it. It looks a little bit different than modern magazines. It kind of has a little edge, ledge right there, and it's not ambidextrous. It only has a notch on one side, and it does not have the metal in the front. The difference between this and a Gen 1, the Gen 1 has texturing that's not as aggressive as this. It's smoother, and it wraps all the way around the grip. This actually has checkering in front, texture in the back. Gives a better grip. That's the major difference between this and a Gen 1. This is our early Gen 2. It's only got one trigger, or one pin right here. The other one has the, I forgot what it's called, the block pin is up, mounted I believe right here, right in front of it, or behind it, I don't remember. So, but that's the late Generation 2. This one here, of course, no accessory rail. The difference between this and a Gen 3 is the Gen 3 has an accessory rail, as well as some other things. That's the major difference, the external difference. And another difference you'll see between the Gen 3 and this one is this little beveled edge right here. That is not present on a Gen 3. This one here is in excellent condition, as you can see. I paid $500 for this. There were a couple that were just a little bit cheaper, but they were not nearly as good a condition. This one here is almost, it's like new in box. It's almost new. And the price on these is actually going way up. Now you can still find the Gen 2s, and the Gen 2s, the common price right now is around $450 to $500 to $550, around in there for Gen 2s. Gen 1s are getting extremely hard to find, and I am looking for one. If anybody out there knows somebody that is selling one that will ship to my FFL. The Gen 1s, believe it or not, the price, it's not uncommon to see them for $700 to $750. Of course, if you know somebody that's selling one, you'll have them sell it to me cheaper than that, because you watch my channel and you're a subscriber of mine, so I'm going to go a little bit cheaper than that. The Gen 1s especially, and a little bit so the Gen 2s, are becoming more collectible. There's fewer of them out there in good condition. They've been used and abused, and people are just not selling them. So, but I just wanted to show you, it's a really, really nice handgun. I like shooting it. It's a lot of fun, as all the Glock pistols I've shot. But it's kind of nice to have just a little bit of, I guess, history, because it's, you know, kind of when I was a youth, this pistol was out. The story, one of my buddies had a, I believe it was a Gen 17 before I'd even heard of Glock, and this was in, I want to say like around 92, 93, so it would have been when this pistol was out. So I'm pretty sure it was a Gen 2 pistol that I shot, and he had it, shot it a little bit. To me it was really ugly, and I had a Beretta M9, and he had this, and I also had a 1911, and we were out shooting, but it's my first experience with Glock, and thought it was pretty cool, but yeah, it was kind of weird, kind of blocky, ugly, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Around the time there was the current fiasco going on about how you could sneak these through the airport and blah 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 because they're made out of plastic, and of course all that turned out to be complete bogus. The primary difference between the Gen 2 and the Gen 1 is the grip. As I showed in my Gen 1 video, this goes all the way around and it's that pebble texture, whereas this has checkering in the front and these grooves in the back to give you a better feel. And then on the side it still has pebble, but it's just in this pattern right here. You'll also notice a difference on the front. The Gen 2 has checkering in the front of the trigger guard, and the Gen 1 has the pebble texture. Another difference you'll notice, the rod right here has a hole in it. This one does not. One of the other differences, the spring and rod. In the Gen 1 it is not captured. When they first released the Gen 2 it was also not captured, but then in 1991 they have a fully one-piece captured spring rod. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Semper Fi.